Hello everyone, how are you? Hope all is well. Stay focused, stay aware, listen to your gut feelings, and always be ready for anyone to switch up on you. So guys, this gruesome act perpetrated on 15-year-old Shineka Gray has been a story I've been trying to build up the stomach to do. As when I review the gory detail, it's just inhumane. Worse, with the Leota Bradshaw case that totally took my breath away, that has already rocked my whole world as a human being. It's just a terrifying thought that people so ruthless and heartless are living amongst us. And they could be anyone. That's a crazy thing. You see a man's face and you can't see his heart and what he's capable of. So it's like anyone around you could be capable of these acts as they are becoming a regular occurrence. So, Maria Morrison, who was convicted for the murder of 15-year-old Shineka Gray, was on bail for another murder committed with a knife at the time of her death in 2017. Let that sink in for a moment. Imagine that he was already on bail for committing another murder. I know there are laws to adhere to, but I believe no one should get bail, especially the nature of the crime, when they are on murder charge. Because if he was not on bail, Shineka Gray would be alive today. This is not a situation where two people were fighting and they had instruments and one died and whatever and so on. You could kind of understand getting bail on that. But when you actually go for murder people, take out people, and you do it dry eye, bushy tail, you're not supposed to get bail on crimes like those. No, look, Shineka Gray is gone. However, he was granted bail on the first murder charge in October 2016, 3 months before the schoolgirl Shineka was taken out. The other murder charge still hangs over his head as his case is still before the court. And these were just some of the details that emerged on Monday as the murder trial for Morris and his co-accused Gregory Roberts continued. Throughout the day, defense attorney Leroy Equiana sought to establish the role Morrison played in the teenager's demise. Last week, Morrison testified that he, at Roberts' request, recorded Roberts taking out Shineka. He passed the phone to me saying, "Dog, video this for me." Am I videoing now? He had the knife and started to juke her up. She started crying and bawling, even saying, "Lord, this is what you're going to do to your daughter?" Morrison testified. On Monday during cross-examination, Equiana asked Morrison, "Did you have a knife that night?" Morrison answered no. "Did you threaten the girl or give any orders?" The attorney asked again. Morrison replied no. "Did you juke up the girl?" the attorney pursued. "No, I did not juke her. The only thing I did was to hold the phone," Morrison replied. "The only thing you admitted to was that you had sex with the girl and that you did not force her. Is that correct, sir?" the attorney asked Morrison, who replied in the affirmative. "Did you participate in any killing?" Equiana inquired once more, but Morrison flatly said no. When asked again if he had sex with the teenage girl, again Sir Will Morrison said no. By law, he is guilty of murder because of his actions at the scene. The revelation that Morrison was on bail at the time of Shineka's murder will no doubt fuel long-running concerns that individuals on murder or gun charges typically commit other offenses while they are on bail. However, for the June 2022 opening of the Easter term session of the Westmoreland Circuit Court, 17 of the individuals before the court were on bail for murder. They were among 32 people charged with serious offenses that were committed while they were on bail, Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey said. However, Minister of Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahoo Fort came in for criticism last year, June, when she signaled changes to the Bail Act that would see individuals charged with murder and gun-related charges denied bail. An amended Bail Act was passed on July 25, 2023, 4 years after Gray's death. The Green Pond High School student was found dead in bushes in Irwin, St. James with multiple stab wounds on February 1, 2017. Morrison pleaded guilty to her demise in September 2022 and was sentenced a month later to life imprisonment. 10 of 18 witnesses have already provided evidence in the ongoing Roberts trial. 8 witnesses gave sworn evidence and 2 other witnesses' statements were read into evidence. The trial continues on Tuesday. When you hear about cases like this, where this man was actually on bail for doing a similar gruesome act, you start to wonder, where did the system blunder? Because the system failed her. The system that was supposed to protect Shineka and other young people like her failed her miserably by letting that criminal out on bail. Remember, this little girl, she left from school with her friends and they went to KFC and have something to eat. They then went to their respective taxi stand to get a taxi to get home. These guys pretended to be taxi men, pick her up. I know it's country, so there's a lot of bush. Turn off and carry her, go all over the place. And rape her in many different areas and communities. Then to the end, when they promised to take her home, I guess all she could think of, she just wanted to survive this night. Instead, while one raped her and take her life, the other one was there videoing it after they both had partake of this young lady. As a mother hearing these things, I'm telling you, it is utterly heartbreaking. So what it would seem like is now, every day when you send out your child to school or you step out on the road to go into one of these taxis to get you to and from, you are taking a big risk because you don't know who is at the driving seat or who else is in the car that just look like a normal passenger. Apart from the fact that just surviving in Jamaica, keeping up with just surviving, paying the bills, keeping your life on course, these atrocities you have to add to your stress. Now, to add insult to injury, with all the travesty going on in Jamaica and the crime situation, now we are realizing chances are we don't even have any hope. Because Chief Justice Brian Sykes is warning that the tough new legislations being considered by Parliament for people involved in criminal activities will not solve the country's crime problem by itself. Which is true, you have a point there. As Prime Minister Andrew Holness had declared that harsher penalties for murder and other violent crimes will be introduced in the coming months. But Chief Justice Sykes, addressing the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce annual banquet on Saturday, argued that harsher penalties will not solve this crisis. He disclosed that Jamaica has one of the lowest conviction rates in the region, and trust and believe the criminals know this, adding that less than 30% of accused persons are convicted, either by a jury or a single judge hearing their case. An acceptable conviction rate should be 60 to 80%, he said. In essence, what Judge Sykes is saying, it's not what you know they did, it's what you can prove they did. The perfect example was the one other gang trial, which leave a bitter taste in many Jamaicans' mouth, as even though they had inside evidence witnessed from their own gang members, it was felt that they just trying to save themselves and get out of the gang, as there was no other way to leave the gang and still be among the land of the living. So they were not taken as serious as it was, because truth be told, they really took a risk to bring down this gang, and many of them were still let out on the road the same way. Some end up going back to crimes and end up losing their own lives in the process. However, still, some convictions was done. Many criminals are known, however, great or small they are, and their activities are well documented, but it always boils down to circumstantial evidence and the fact that witnesses don't trust the police, and protecting witnesses is not guaranteed. Most do not turn up for court. Our investigation team is one to be questioned as well. How evidence are handled with not much importance, because many times when the court case is called, the evidence is still not ready. So that leave a further gap in the system. So, if you have 100 people charged for murder, you know they did it. Some end up get let go. If 30 go to trial, 10 alone end up getting convicted. And the criminals know this, that basically nothing is going to come out of the case. That is why they're willing to take the risk until the time caught up with them. That's how much we can depend on this justice system. That's why many crimes are people getting their own justice, and the anarchy continues. Guys, please comment and let me know how much faith you have in our Jamaica justice system. Do you see any changes for the future? Do you think harsher penalties are going to hinder criminals from continue what they are doing? And do you think that people on certain kind of murder charges should be offered bail at all? Bearing in mind that in Shineka case, he already is on charge for murdering somebody with a knife, and that case is still pending. If he was not out on bail, we wouldn't have a Shineka Gray case going on right now. Let me know your feelings and what you think in the comment section. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my platform, please. Love you all. Bye for now.